Эй, всем привет, это снова Сергей, канал Другая Америка. И сегодня будет немного необычное видео. Я его своровал у своей детворы. Мой сын Оливер и его дружбан записали несколько видео о теме рыбалки здесь в Америке. И они вроде планируют открыть свой YouTube канал. Я не знаю, какой там прогресс, но видео уже сняты, и я решил, как насчет кажется, мне всегда нравится халява, и тут качественный видеопродукт. И мне так показалось, наверное, может, кое-кому из зрителей будет интересно посмотреть на американскую детвору, как они себя ведут, и их видеосъемки про рыбалку в Америке. Ну, это видео будет не про рыбалку, а о том, как они уже пойманную рыбу, так называемый largemouth bass, большеротый окунь местный, как они его разделают, филеют для того, чтобы его позднее зажарить. То есть это видео будет, они демонстрируют, учат своих зрителей будущих, как разделывать рыбу. Надеюсь, вам понравится этот видеопроект. Как всегда, не забывайте ставить лайки. Нужно спрашивать, оказывается, чтобы не забывали. И enjoy the show!
Today we're going to be teaching you how to fillet a fish. We're going to be making fish bites out of this. So we've already filleted one fish. We're just going to make little pieces about like this big. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is you want to flip up their little fin, right like that. Then you can hold it or do whatever. And then you just grip your hand around it, making sure your fingers and stuff are out of the way because you don't want anyone getting cut. And then you just kind of start sawing away at it.
This is a bass we caught about 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, not bad.
It's pretty big. I mean,
yeah.
It's about like.
So you can just kind of get it to as deep as it can go. So you can see the little fins back here, and then you want to get it to about as deep as that, and then you just want to get through basically the scales. So you want your knife in about like that much, just that much. And then you
do it again.
Kinda,
they probably couldn't see it that well.
Okay, so you just put your knife in like about that much, very, very little.
Okay.
Barely any.
You don't want to be cutting into the rib.
Yeah, not yet at least.
Well,
and
yeah.
then you just kind of work it along, and you're breaking the scales and breaking the skin, so you can get in there and do that. So you see these fins, so you want to stay like a centimeter above those, and you're just going along. And then once you get to about like halfway through these, you just kind of poke it through, or maybe even like a little farther, because like the rib cage on.
But like right after that.
Yeah, like right 3/4 in, and then you want to push your knife down super hard as it's
and then
pushed
like
through.
Push down.
And then you push super hard, and then you get to like about an inch away from the fin.
Yeah, because
so
then it bleeds a lot if you get a little too close.
And then, well, that is just easier when you.
Sure.
So don't make the fillet go off of the fin. So you just want to, so you can kind of peel it up with your finger, and then you just kind of chop away at it. You just kind of stick your knife in there. No like sawing motion, just a nice easy
just
glide.
Nice, cool. I mean, nice swift slides, not jabbing motion.
And it's a lot easier to have a sharp knife. Mine's kind of dull, even though we have a sharpener right there. So, and then you kind of just there's little strings and pieces that want to hang on. And
just cut through them.
Yep. Just kind of saw them off.
It might be a little complicated at first when you're doing it your first couple times, but
you just did your first one today.
Yeah, and it wasn't really that hard. It's just like if you listen to instructions and like don't mess it up, you will. I mean, it's really good. It's pretty easy.
Yep, and then it's
also
like when the first time you usually fillet fish, you want to make these little bites, because then like you can't really mess up that hard.
Yeah.
Like, because then you're just cutting them into little pieces like this. And then even if you miss like a little part, and there's a little meat left, yeah, you can just cut it off and put it in your pile of bites.
You're making bites. We're making fish soup, and then we're just gonna we might just fry up fish or make fish fries.
And then we'll make a video on.
We'll make a separate video on cooking them. This video is just based on filleting them.
Yep.
We might do another video if it's possible on like how to cast, set the hook for beginner fishers, and what to use for different types of fish like crappie, perch, bass, bluegill.
Yep, and then I kind of got a little bit of bones in there.
Yeah.
But this is the part where you just saw away at it until you so you can see like where it gets through in there. And then just those little strings, you just take it at the end of your knife and then just slice through it. So now you can probably cut like a little bit farther, and then this is what I call like breaking.
It gets a little bloody.
This is where I like.
Bloody.
This is what you call breaking the meat.
Yep.
So you kind of just put your knife right there, and then you just press it, so it kind of compresses down and stuff.
So it's not as easy. No, it won't like be sticking up as much.
Yep. And then you just kind of. So there might be a little piece of meat there. It's fine. You're not missing much.
Yeah.
And then you want to push down super hard.
Yeah, and then
And then just kind of
go down a little bit.
Make that sawing motion, but you want it like mid-knife.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of put your finger on the knife blade to help it flex a little more.
Yeah, as long as the blade's not going towards you. Always put the blade going away from you.
Yep.
Because you can get some bad cuts with these fillet knives. Always make sure your knife is sharp.
Look at that fillet.
This is off a really big basket.
This was like
I mean, it gets a little bloody, but
yeah, it is. You can see it's bleeding just a tiny bit. This was a nice 3 or 4 pound bass. That gives you a pretty good fillet.
yeah.
And then you can just kind of move the fish a little bit out of the way. I'm gonna move it
And then flip it over.
And then
You cut them.
Yep. And then with a fish this big, you kind of want to cut the thing in half first.
Yeah, because there are going to be big chunks. Like with the other fish, it wasn't as bloody, and we didn't have to like cut it in half because it was kind of small. But this one's just huge compared to the other one we had.
So and then you can just cut it in half and then move it back together to make it
And cut it.
one cut.
Cut it in pieces.
And you just saw it into like it's personal preference how big you want the little chunks.
Yeah.
Kind of we want to mix it up a little bit because we're like I said, we're putting it in soup. And another thing you can do is you can cut it lengthwise. Now with a fish this big, you can cut it again, and then you can make fish sticks out of it.
Yeah.
And then we'll teach you how to make a batter and everything for it too,
With help.
with help.
It doesn't really matter if the
This is
fillets
about like
get bloody.
fish stick length
Yeah.
fish.
It doesn't really matter if the fillets get bloody because you can just wash them
and then
off.
you rinse them.
Yeah.
You rinse them good with cold water.
Cold water, not hot
Because
water.
if you get hot water, they just like start falling apart, and it's not good.
Yeah, you want to get it nice and pretty dang chilly before you start.
Yep. And then
And
I'm
there's
just
the
gonna do
blood.
the other side, no instruction, and just kind of watch
This
as I go along.
Yeah, just go along with it, Just start with that. Well, you might want to give them like a rough example of what you're doing.
Yep.
Just like
So-
second reminder.
Like I said, you cut in here, just down to the backbone, and then again, like I said, like that far in, barely any length in at all. You can kind of just. I've been filleting fish for like a year and a half now, so I've kind of got good at it.
But you will learn in a couple months if you fillet.
I would recommend
pretty well.
not catching. Well, like not trying to fillet until it's like bass season, and you catch the legal size and the legal amount of bass. Because you always want to be legal, because being illegal is.
And sometimes when you're catching fish, you might want to toss in the biggest fish you catch, because then, like in like 15 years later,
15, they live like 5.
no, like their genetics will change, because if you keep on tossing in your biggest fish, and taking in your smallest ones, their genetics will turn to like, the bigger the fish, the better they survive. So then they will like modify over time to be bigger.
Okay, so like sometimes you don't get as deep as you need to, so you can just go ahead and cut that again.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's just.
You don't want to be pressing too hard against the ribs, or else the rib might break. Like especially on like tiny fish like bluegill or sunfish and stuff, other type of species like that.
The next couple of videos will teach you guys how to fillet bluegill
Fillet
and crappie.
fish, other fish, and stuff.
Like bass, it's the simplest fish.
Yeah, it's one of the simplest. It's hard to catch.
Here's a true fact: the bigger the fish, the easier it is to flay.
Yeah,
it's
because you have to be really delicate on the small fish.
Yeah, because like as you can see, like right here, you cut a little more skin off, and it gets a little more meat. And you can just cut down a little bit, and there's just those couple strands. And then I like to flip the fish back around so the belly's facing you, because it's just easier for me to do it. Because like the meatier part is right there, and then it flexes more on that side.
Yep.
So you can just again break it, and then just like it kind of arches up. So just like cut right in at it, just kind of at a slight angle. And it's pretty hard to cut the skin, like I just did right there. But you can just kind of go around it. Just go around the break of the skin and then just, yep. And you can just kind of chop that little piece off. So, and then when you do get a little bit of skin, you just flip it over. And then you just kind of get it off.
And you can always just pull off extra bits of skin that you get later when you're washing them.
Yep. And then especially when you're washing them, you want to make sure you get no scales. The scales, they
don't go down the throat that good.
Yeah, and they're just they taste really fishy and really like not good at all.
Yeah, so always forget if you're cooking the fish, like sometimes people cut off the head of the fish and they just put it up in tin foil and throw it in the fire.
Yeah,
you want to make sure to scale it first.
Yeah, make sure you scale it
and cut off the head,
etc.
Yeah,
you want to make sure.
But when you're just filleting just regular fish, you don't have to gut it unless you're like.
This is about the size of a bluegill fillet.
Yeah,
it's a pretty big difference.
It is a very large difference. Like bluegill one would be like 4 times as small as this. I mean, this is just massive.
Yeah. A bluegill fillet is about that big.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, even like a crappie is
when you're all done and you make sure again that you have both sides, because I've done that a couple times where I throw it in the gut bucket and then it's still got one side on it. So and then you just use the bucket you fish in. Usually I don't leave the water in, but I did today. And then you just throw them in there. If you have a garden, compost pile. Otherwise, if you're right by the lake like we are, just chuck them back in the lake, or just like put them in a woods near your house, an open field. Something will come eat them.
Yeah.
And make sure like you're not pouring them like right by your house, because they'll stink.
They will stink eventually. And if you have a compost, you might want to make sure it's like a store-bought thing that it's like anti-smell.
Yeah.
If it's close to your house, but if it's far back like ours, at my house, it's pretty far. It's a little black barrel down there, so you can imagine smell doesn't get to here too easily. All right, that was basically the video.
Yep. And
hope you enjoyed.
And then if you have like a longer bass fillet, then just cut it in half if you want to make fish sticks. All right. That kind of wraps up what we have.
Yep.
Be safe. Always be safe.
Always.
Make sure if you're cutting.
Always do it away from you.
On a surface of any sort.
And you might want to use a cutting board.
Like if you're using this plastic whatever works really nice.
Yeah, because like if you're using a wood cutting board, it will the blood will kind of stain the wood.
Yep.
But if you're using plastic, I mean, this is kind of a really cheap cutting board, so it doesn't really matter. And the blood washes off easily.
Yep, no problem. So. Yep. So, and then you kind of want to wash your hands and stuff before you touch the door handles.
Yep.
Alright, that basically wraps up the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll pretty much see you next video. We'll try and upload as like soon as possible. We'll probably upload like every Wednesday and we'll just see what we can do. I am the video man. We caught some pretty good bass today. I hope you enjoyed, and that's it. And then we will be readying the fish now. And we're gonna try and get them like the store-bought fishes.
Just drop up.
Stupid store-bought fish sticks.
Give it a turn and motion. You want? Personally, we like to get it more breaded so it's more crispy. It depends on personal preference. Yes, personal preference.
Grab a plate.
You just get any plate.
And you kind of just put them all in there.
Yeah, you just put them towards the steamish.
You just kind of get.
You want to make sure.
You're gonna get a little. It's gonna get a little messy.
Yeah.
But you can kind of just stir it up. In there.
And then you can just always just wash it.
Gonna make it spicy.
A little bit.
We might add some
Paprika to fish.
Yeah, no, it might taste good. And then you can just have your little fish sticks. Put them in there. Fish chunks, everything, whatever. Albert, do you want to save those for the soup?
This is Spanish. Doesn't really matter.
Put it in the fridge.
Just a smudge.
Then we'll make
Whoa.
some with paprika and some.
What type of fish you guys have?
Oh, this is bass. We caught. We had that scaling them and filleting them in another video.
We don't really scare them.
Yeah, but
Whatever.
We take it off the scales. And stuff. I mean, it doesn't really matter if you get much
Let's
blood.
get the
You
yeah.
try to wash out as much blood as you can, but it doesn't really matter if you can't wash it out.
Let's do that. And then we can leave those for the soup.
You've got mail.
As we talked about in the previous video, we are going to be doing episodes on how to scale different types of fish. Like this, we focus on bass because it's obviously the easiest one. We will recommend that you spend a legal amount when it's in season.
Yep, and make sure check your local laws just to make sure you're getting the right amount and right size.
Because
The,
it depends on different states.
The legal limit in Michigan, I think, is like 5 or 6.
I mean,
But
because
we won't keep more than that.
yeah,
But
because bass are big fish. Like
Yeah.
you can keep more of little fish. Obviously, it's a little.
Yep,
Crappie, bluegill,
crappie,
sunfish.
bluegill, no season, no you can keep
Because
as many.
there's a lot of them always.
What about the fishing license? Do you have a fishing license?
You don't need a fishing license in Michigan.
Well, our age, under 16.
Under
you,
16,
you don't need a fishing
Well,
license in
over.
Michigan.
Yeah.
But over 16 in Michigan, we do.
Do you know how much is the fishing license?
It's not very
Probably
expensive.
like 50.
For like a residential, I think it's like 40,
So
50.
it's
not.
I mean, it might be a tad bit expensive on you, but it's not that much.
Yep.
But if you're over 16, then you probably have more money than 40 bucks. Which is quite a lot.
Make sure you get all your little pieces of fish out there.
Every little tiny piece of fish.
Okay, and pause for a minute so you guys can have it your camera. Good job.
That was tough. Dad came in. You've got me. Mute your phone.
Okay, take that and go rinse it in the sink.